we were both probably scared for our life, to be honest. The loudest, angriest, most threatening yell you'll ever hear. Who's gonna stop this guy if he just decides to beat the crap out of us? No one should ever experience what we just went through. I'm not looking forward to studying right now. I woke up at 5:45 in the morning and I started at 6. Nothing could have prepared me for this. I thought, oh, I'm a vet student, it'll be fine. I am the worst veterinary receptionist to ever enter a clinic. I'm going to the London Vet Show in the morning. It's a really, really big event, 2-day event, but nothing could have prepared me for this, man. Welcome back to another week in my life as a second-year vet student. My name is Deacon. I vlog every single week of vet school to show you what it's like as I go through it. It's Monday at 4:15 p.m., so I finished my day of lectures. I'm here to eat some lunch and then do my studying for the day since I've not done that yet. I found an empty lecture theater, so I've got the whiteboards to myself, and that's how I usually prefer to study. I've checked my schedule, and I'm actually gonna be in here for a while, it looks like. So I've got a couple things to study. I'm taking a look here at my revision schedule, and it looks like I'll be studying 3 lectures and then doing my priming for 5 lectures. All right, it's 7:15 right now, so it's not so bad. We're about at the 2-hour mark on studying and we're finished. The only thing is when I look through this lecture slides, I realized that there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna cover that I didn't cover when I watched some short YouTube videos the other day. So probably when I get home, I'm gonna go to the gym, and then once I get back from the gym, I'll probably go and watch some more YouTube videos to really round out those subjects so that when I study it again in about a week, I can actually make a good attempt at trying to understand all the content in the lectures. But that's it for me right now. I'm gonna head home, head to the gym, probably see you back after I work out and shower. Well, change of plans. I didn't make it to those YouTube videos. I ended up editing a bunch of these practice questions for an event I'm having tomorrow as part of my society, which you'll probably see in the vlog tomorrow. Good morning, happy Tuesday. It is 9:30 a.m., but I have a 9 a.m. lecture. Well, I'm gonna watch the recording for the lecture and I should be able to head in for the 11 a.m. lecture on time. All right, it's 4 p.m. I've finished up for the day. We just had a 3-hour-long event for the BVet Med 1 cohort. I'm on year 2. The year 1s basically have an exam coming up this Friday, so as part of the study society, we hosted a little event for them to practice. It's pretty good. There were about 80 people turned up, so the room was pretty full. Right now I'm gonna head home, probably get some groceries along the way. I got some groceries and then I looked up and it was about to start raining, so I got scared, came back into uni instead of risking it going home. And now I'm in. I've just completed the event schedule for the first term for my society, so my energy is honestly pretty down, but I don't want to have to study a ton tomorrow, so I'm just gonna have to tough it out and study a few topics right now, do as much as I can, and then head home. I have a 9 a.m. tomorrow, so I'm not gonna push it too much today because it's better that I just wake up tomorrow and use the half day to its full advantage, but gotta get something done today, so I'll see what I can do. It took about 20 minutes, but I finished it up. It was about 1.5 lectures on receptors and signaling. So finished it up now. What I'm gonna do is have a look through my flashcard set and delete all the ones that I won't need anymore. Before I start doing the flashcards, I like to study the topic a few times on my own with whiteboards. And then right now I'm basically just gonna have a look through. If there's something that I knew like automatically, I'm gonna delete it. If there's some stuff that I didn't know, or there's some stuff that I wanna remember, like specific enzymes or that sort of thing, then I'll keep those in the flashcards. And from now on for this topic, I'm pretty much not going to approach it ever again. So it might take me, maybe I'll come back to this in 4 months if I feel like it. But other than that, it's in the flashcards. I trust the flashcards now, and I trust my own logical understanding. So never going to come back to this topic again. So that's, one less thing to worry about in the grand scheme of the year. But probably spend about 15 minutes or 10 minutes looking at these flashcards. And then I'll head home and head to the gym. Probably see you back at the flat in an hour and a half or 2 hours. Good morning and happy Wednesday. Let's get to uni for my 9 a.m. lecture. Okay, I just got out of uni. We had 1 lecture in the morning on the thyroid, and we went into a directed learning session, which is like our group, work through case scenario type of session. And that took about, honestly, half an hour, even though it was scheduled for way longer. So I had a little meeting with my society treasurers who get us our sponsorships and that sort of thing. Right now it's just before noon. I'm gonna head home and take a nap because I went to bed pretty late last night. I think I'm coming right back to uni after my nap to do some studying as well as attend an event for the anatomy club. It's really cold today. Apparently it was snowing this morning, which is not that fun for a guy from Honolulu. Hopefully I don't freeze when I head home today. Nap time.
And I'm sure if you've been on Lurk.
Oh my god, that's so cute! I wouldn't like if they like. And maybe like one diseased one.
I just finished up an anatomy club event. I'm one of the anatomy club reps, so I figured I would attend. I basically just sat down with a microscope and picked random histology slides and tried to guess what I was looking at. I went 3 for 6, so it's okay. That's technically a pass at my university because the pass mark is 50%. So I don't know, I'll take it as a win. My eyes are definitely a little bit hurt now, and also man, histology really is just like a mess, but hoping eventually I'll get pretty good at it. Right now I have to do my studying for the day since I haven't done that yet, so I'm gonna go find a room, find a whiteboard, and get after it. Actually, we were assigned some digital learning stuff, so they put these basically activities online for us to go through. I've got to go through this one on endocrine anatomy and then complete a quiz and submit that. It's basically homework for the day, so I'm going to complete this first and then I'll do my studying. Well, I've got the empty lecture hall again and I've got the whiteboards, so I think I'm going to start studying at 6:10. I'm not looking forward to studying right now. You know, usually I do my studying in the morning. It's the first thing I do, and then I kind of have the most energy. It's the end of the day, so my energy's down, and these topics that I'm about to do are pretty difficult, so it's definitely not something that, you know, how can you look forward to something that's pretty difficult? And it's a lot of mental effort to study in general, but that's what, you know, makes it productive. And if you aren't having mental effort and exhaustion while studying, you're probably not doing, you know, very effective study methods. So I'm just gonna start off probably with the immunology stuff. So I have 2 lectures on immunopathology and then 2 lectures on hematopoiesis and like lymphocyte development. And so after that, those are all the lectures that we've had before, like a few weeks ago, and I'm gonna study them today. And then after, I've got to study inflammation, which is 3 lectures worth. And then there's some other stuff like neoplasia and pretty much like cancer, which we haven't learned yet, but I have to, you know, like prime ahead. So I'm gonna go and review those topics and watch some YouTube videos on that. But looking at just the amount of lectures that I have, I don't know, I might be in here until like 8:30, 9. Who knows how it'll go, but I'm gonna tackle it anyway and get it done, because sometimes you just gotta push through and study the topics, and once you get into a flow state, you know, you can kind of move through everything easier. But starting is the hard part. The inertia to put the whiteboard pen on the whiteboard is definitely the biggest step. Hopefully I fly through this stuff and retain it pretty well, but you know, you can't rush the process, so we'll see how we get on. And I think maybe I'll put up a little time lapse of one of my study blocks. I just crushed the first lecture, basically retained everything that I care about, and just missed out on some, you know, small stuff, like forgot about the yolk sac up there on the top left. But I'm gonna continue. That was only 1 lecture. This topic is 2 lectures, so I'll finish this up and I'll do a time lapse of my next study block, and then probably cut to the end once I'm done with all of this studying. And just a quick note, after every little study block or each topic, I have a look at the flashcards that I had generated during the lectures, and then I'm gonna narrow them down as much as possible, make sure they cover all the stuff that I want to cover. And that's because I won't be studying these topics for quite a while, because I've already had a few chances to study them. And so the next time I would need to hit the whiteboard might be months from now, if ever. So I just wanna be able to trust my flashcards to refresh me constantly and, you know, get all the information that I really need in the flashcards. And then I don't have to worry about studying it again on the whiteboard, which takes a lot more time than if I were to just look through some flashcards. Well, my phone fell over doing what was supposed to be a nice little video of me erasing on my whiteboard, but I called it quits. It's 8 p.m. right now. I figure if I go home, I'll be able to go to the gym. And then typically after I go to the gym, I'm gonna shower, right? But then I can't go to sleep until like maybe an hour later. So I'm basically gonna finish my studying at home after I go to the gym, after I eat dinner. And then it's just some stuff priming. So neoplasia and like tumor and cell cycle control is coming up next week. And so that's what I'm gonna be studying now before the lectures. I was also going to do inflammation today. That's 3 lectures worth. I decided to put that for tomorrow because there's nothing else tomorrow. I'm going to the London Vet Show in the morning. I'm going to be volunteering there, but also have some time to go and, see some talks. And it's a really, really big event, 2-day event. But when I get home, I should still have some time to study. So I've postponed that to tomorrow in favor of being able to get to sleep relatively early today, because I think I have to be there pretty early in the morning. So I think I'll just cut to a time lapse of me back at home finishing out that topic, but who knows, maybe I will get tired and just go to bed. Well, I was gonna do a little time lapse, but I really didn't get that far, so I'm gonna watch a video on the cell cycle regulation stuff. It goes a little bit more in depth than what we need to know, but this guy's kind of the GOAT. It's 6:45, I'm about to head home. I finished volunteering. I only did the afternoon shift today, so I'm doing an afternoon shift tomorrow as well. It was only really 4 hours, but most of the talks were pretty interesting anyway, so didn't really feel like volunteering. I was kind of just sitting through the talks that I wanted to go through anyway. Clean up some trash at the end of it, and I talked to a bunch of different companies the whole time, asking them about my study society and if they'd be interested in sponsoring us, because I figured if I'm here, I might as well, talk to a bunch of people and at least try to get some sponsors. I figured I should make the best use of my time and also take as many freebies as possible. It's 10:30 right now, and there's no way I'm gonna study today because I checked my schedule, and if I were to study, it would be 5 lectures on inflammation and anti-inflammatory drugs. What I might do is wake up early tomorrow morning before day 2 of the London Vet Show and do all that studying, because realistically it's gonna take like 2 hours to do all that amount of content. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early for the London Vet Show. I wanna be there at 9 for this talk. So I'll probably be up, who knows, 6 in the morning so that I can get my studying done. We'll see, but see you in the morning tomorrow. It's 7 a.m. I just finished my studying. I woke up at 5:45 in the morning and I started at 6, but I thought that because it was 5 lectures, it would take me like 2 hours. It only took me 1 hour because a lot of the stuff was like, a bunch of chemical mediators, and if I've listed half of the functions and 2/3 of the chemical mediators, like all the other stuff will be in the flashcards anyway, so I wasn't gonna go dwell on it, and really a lot of it were concepts that we had seen multiple times before, so it's kind of quick to go through. And then with the drugs, it's just like, if I understand what the drugs do in the drug classes, and I can't name every single little drug, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on that, so it went a lot faster than I thought. The problem with that is that I've woken up really early for no reason, but the good thing is I realized that I missed 2 lectures yesterday, which were on basically statistics. So good thing about that is statistics is a pretty easy topic to self-study, because it's just, I could find a YouTube video on it. But what I'm gonna do now is go through those 2 lectures, because I have about an hour until I wanna leave, actually 45 minutes, and then I should be good on those 2 lectures, and I'll see you probably once I'm ready. Always pack an empty bag inside your bag for all the free stuff you're gonna get. I'm back home now. I'm gonna head to bed soon. It's 9:20. Right now I'm gonna watch some videos on dog restraint and cat restraints, and also how to use the receptionist setup, because tomorrow I'm starting work as a veterinary receptionist / veterinary care assistant. Super cool because it's gonna be my first time actually interacting with animals in a small animal clinic. When I was doing my shadowing in high school, they didn't really let me touch anything. So all the experience I have is with farm animals, which is kind of scary because I've literally never had to interact with animals in a clinic setting, and now I'll be probably restraining them tomorrow, as well as having to figure out how to do the receptionist interface on the computer and all that sort of thing. So it's definitely gonna be a crazy day tomorrow, but I'm excited for it. I'll see you in the morning. I'm gonna get into work for like 9:30 hopefully, so that I can get set up and try to familiarize myself before the chaos goes down. It's just gonna be me and the vet the whole time, so kind of nuts. But at some point I'm gonna have to step up and get some sort of responsibility, and also some amount of growing pains and stress when I'm getting better in the vet world. So might as well start early and start now. It's a paid position too, so it's nice. I can make some money on the weekends, but I'm excited for it. Also very nervous. I'm gonna watch some videos and see you in the morning. Good morning and happy Saturday. It is 8:45 a.m. I'm about to head over to the clinic for my first day as a veterinary care assistant / receptionist, which is pretty crazy because I've never been in a small animal clinic and had responsibility or really had to handle anything. So it's gonna be probably a crazy day, but I'm gonna head after it And I don't know, I'll try to keep you updated. I'll be there early to set up, and I'll see how it goes. I have no words. This was probably the most chaotic morning I've ever had. I am the worst veterinary receptionist to ever touch a computer, to ever enter a clinic, to ever be around an animal. I started the day off. I entered the clinic to set up, tripped the alarm. 20 minutes, blaring. The whole street can hear it. I didn't know the password for the alarm. No one told me the password for the alarm, okay? I go to the computer. My one job, the one thing I need to turn on the computer, to get into the email inbox, right? Computer won't turn on. Email inbox, random security check. Let's automatically ask you to log in. I don't know the password. I go onto the database where all the clients are and the appointments are. I go to make an appointment for today. No appointment. I don't know why it's not allowing me to put in something for 11:30. I look at the door. Someone's coming in. It's 11:30. Hey, do you have an appointment? Oh yeah, I have an appointment. I look in the computer. No, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Ghost. A ghost appointment. So, yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. I finally got in a break between having calls. I have 13 missed calls right now because I'd get 2 calls at once. Then what do I do? So I'd call them back, but I can't log into the email. I finally figured out how to get payments. So at least the practice isn't gonna run out of money and go broke while I'm here. Nothing could have prepared me for this. You know, I thought, oh, I'm a vet student. It'll be fine, right? I can adapt to it. How hard is it to use the computer system? Nope. That's how my day's going. That being said, it's a quiet spell right now. So fortunately, there's been a lot of people who can help me, like all the other receptionists. I had their contacts and they were able to help me, and the vet is being quite nice. It's just me and the vet here. So if they have to restrain anything, take any blood. I've never touched a cat before in a clinic. Nope. Never touched a dog in a clinic before. Nope. So luckily the vet is very, very kind and helping me out with the stuff. She knows how to use a computer, and she understands that I've never been around animals before. But yep, started my day off very, very well. That being said, I'd rather have chaos now than chaos later. So I'll continue, but oh my God. Nothing could have prepared me for this, man. I don't even know what to say. I just finished up cleaning the clinic. At the end of the day, a client came in trying to pick up a prescription. So I went and looked for it. I couldn't find it. The client's bike was just parked outside the clinic, not like locked up or anything. So some dude just came by and stole it. That's London for you. But then the client came back in and yelled the loudest, angriest, most threatening yell you'll ever hear, you know, and just shouting at us. It's only me and the vet. And I'm looking over at the vet and I'm just going, who's gonna stop this guy if he just decides to beat the crap out of us, you know? Unfortunately, he left. But, you know, is that the reality of veterinary medicine? Like, it's my first day. And I knew, you know, aggression and violence was common in this profession, but really? I mean, the vet, I'm still shaking. The vet and I were just paralyzed because what do we do? He's a big dude, you know, and I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't think anyone's had a worse first day, ever. I mean, we were both probably scared for our life, to be honest. There was just nothing. What are we gonna do? Me and the vet. No one's here. No one's gonna help us. It's just insane, honestly. No one should ever experience what we just went through. Okay, it's Sunday now. It's almost 1 p.m. I'm gonna start studying, and hopefully I can study for about 3 hours. Obviously, that was a pretty crazy way to end the day yesterday. So yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. I'll probably reflect on that a little bit at the end of the vlog, which isn't yet, but very soon. So I'm probably gonna cut to a time lapse of me studying. I'm definitely not gonna get caught up today just because I couldn't study for most of the week. Things are really busy. We'll see how it goes. But for now, I'll just give you one time lapse. It'll probably, you know, be multiple whiteboards worth of studying, but you can just enjoy the time lapse now. So let's cut to it. What a week, man. They don't tell you what you're getting yourself into when you sign up for vet med. It was definitely the weirdest week of, I don't know, at least a year, if not one of the top 10 weirdest weeks of my life. Overall, I don't know, a good week, I guess. I don't even know what to say. I studied pretty well today. 5 lectures on respiratory physiology and pharmacology. Did actually very well in that in terms of retention. Quite happy with those subjects. And then also I studied some stuff that we're learning later this week. Did actually pretty well on that too, so I'm happy with the studying for today. I'm not too behind in terms of my study schedule, but back home now, it's gonna be a bit of a late night editing the vlog. Figured I'd just, end the vlog with a little message, because that's what I always try to do, try to find some sort of theme. Obviously, had a very, very weird, very unfortunate day at the clinic yesterday, but I don't know, I guess that's just what it is. I'm very happy I got to see the great side of veterinary medicine, which was all the people at the London Vet Show. It was just a very enjoyable experience, a very fun time getting to talk with people that you have some things in common with them, and they're all very passionate about helping animals and, really making the most out of their careers as veterinarians or other veterinary professionals. And the very next day, I got to see the ugly side of veterinary medicine. It's weird. It's very, very weird. I'd say overall the week went fine, but I just don't know what to expect anymore, That being said, I'm not been put off of coming back to the clinic. I'm not afraid, of showing up to work, which reasonably I could be, right? It was a very, really scary experience that I had and on my first day, but well, I'm in too deep, aren't I? I've got 3 more years left, 3.5 until I'm a vet. So here we are. We're pushing through vet school 1 week at a time. I guess that's kind of the takeaway. You just keep going. There's a whole lot of ups and downs, and hopefully the trend line is up and it's positive. I try to keep a positive attitude. I also try to keep it real in these vlogs. I'm posting every single week, every week of my life as a vet student. If you enjoy this sort of thing, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, comment down below anything you relate to. Maybe you had similar incidents when you were just getting into the veterinary medicine world. I'd love to hear about that. There aren't really too many people showing their life in veterinary medicine to this, level of detail and consistency right now. So I'm very happy that I can put these vlogs out every week, and I'm happy that people support me in doing this. That being said, that's it for me. I'm Deacon Lila, a 2nd-year veterinary medicine student studying in London, and that was a pretty wild week in my life. See you next time.